Good evening, everyone. Before we begin, I would like to inform you that Pankaj won't be able to join us today due to some personal commitments. So I and Shahid will be hosting this session on his behalf. Okay. So today we have someone equally amazing with us. It's my pleasure to introduce Anmol Malviya, a senior data analyst with strong hands-on experience in Power BI and real-world analytics projects. He has worked extensively on data modeling, performance optimization, and solving business problems using Power BI. Today, he will be taking us deep into the topic Power BI TMDL View with different use cases. This is going to be very practical and knowledgeable pack session, so stay till the end and feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Over to you, Anmol.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Anmol Malviya, and currently I'm working as a senior data analyst at Eden Analytics, and I'm also contributing in the Microsoft communities, and I've been recognized as a Microsoft community super user and Microsoft MVP. And I've loved contributing to the data community, especially in the part of Power BI. And in this way I try to share my knowledge, learn from the community in whichever way possible. So basically in today's session we are going to discuss about TMDL view, which is a newly added feature. It's been around 1 year since this feature has been introduced. So earlier this was in preview feature, but now slowly it is moving into general features. So we will be discussing about that, and I will try to focus more on the practical part, or I will say hands-on part, uh, in place of the theoretical part. So starting, we will start with very basic, where we will see what is TMDL view, why do we need it, but then we will move toward the hands-on part. So I will share my screen quickly. Just let me know if it's visible. Is my screen visible? Said, can you please confirm also?
Yes, Anmol. Your
Yeah,
screen is big.
thank you. Sure. So we will be starting with the concept of TMDL view. So I have summarized it here. So starting with, as we all know, Microsoft Power BI is evolving. It's been 10 years since the Power BI has been introduced, and initially it was just like we can see a visualization tool where we can create report or dashboard. But over the time, it has been transformed from a visualization tool to a complete end to end, where we can perform end to end data project. So we can perform ETL, we can perform data modeling, we can perform data analysis, and then also we can create reports and dashboards, which was the integral part of it. So with that, Microsoft, as we know, every month there are few updates, and then yearly there are Microsoft conferences. And in that, like last year in January 2025, Power BI has introduced this new feature, which is known as TMDL view. And when I say TMDL view, the full form of TMDL is Tabular Model Definition Language. So if you are a fresher, if you are a beginner, if I just say you start explaining this, then you might get confused, because you might have not heard about what is TMDL view, or because when we talk about Power BI, it is generally report and dashboard part and the Power Query editor data modeling part. So from where this comes into the picture. So basically what happened when we work into our Power BI report. So let me just open a demo report. So here we were looking into this report view, where we can see where we create our reports, where we create visualization. Then we have the data view, where we can see our data, where we can see tables, columns, and then we had our model view. And this is all like we can say into the form of UI UX. We can just look into it, but in order to see the metadata, like what is happening in the background, that was not possible. So what happened earlier, before this TMDL view, I will just walk you through the documentation. So this new feature known as Power BI Desktop Project has been introduced, and this is known as the PBIP. So for now, if you are just beginning into Power BI, or if you are working with Power BI for the past few years, what happened when we save our Power BI report, it saves as .pbix. But if you just go here and click on file and click on this save as button and select any particular location, and if you click on this save as type, so PBIX is default format, But then you will find out this PBIT template, which is for template files, and then this newly introduced PBIP mode. So this is known as PBIP. Now, what is this? Let's get back to the documentation. So firstly, this helps us in getting the metadata, or we can say complete backend of our semantic model into a textual format. Just I will say into simple word if you want to understand. Right now, if you see here this complete, if I show you our data model, this is completely like in visual format. We can say from here like which table is connected to which another table. But let's say if you want a structured template where all these thing is available and it is not related to this relationship or data model. Also, like how you are importing your data, where in which mode it is getting stored, then what are the measures you have created. So all these things with the introduction of this PBIP format, we got into one BIM file, and the benefit of it is we got the text editor support. So now we can integrate that file into Visual Studio Code, and with the help of it, like it is not necessary to open Power BI and go all do all the changes. You can just play with the text file and you can start working with your semantic model. The benefit of it is we have folder structure transparency. So we got the separate folder for the semantic model and report. Now let me quickly again show you instead of just talking the theory. So this is how a PBIP file structure look like. So when earlier you were saving your files into the folder, so you can see here in this way I have many files open here. So you will see PBIX file are getting saved. And let's say if I talk about this HR analytics report, then I can only see this. I don't have any other detail apart from this. But with the introduction of the PBIP format, you can see here, we got a report. So in place of PBIX, we got this into PBIP format. Apart from this, two other things is getting created. So whenever you save your file as PBIP, you get a separate folder for report and a separate folder for semantic model. So if I go here, so in the semantic model, you will find out this model.bim file. So if I just quickly open this, you can open it with the help of any like Visual Studio Code, or with the help of GitHub, then Notepad also. So we will open with Visual Studio Code. So here you can see in this textual format, we were getting all the details related to our metadata. But the thing is, we cannot separate, like it was challenging. We can separate, but it was challenging to find out the tables, the columns, then the details about the measure. And the thing is, everything is stored within this one file only. So what they did is, the other features, like other benefits, you can just go through here. I will share the blog link into the comment section. So the challenge was everything was there into one single file, and it was challenging to keep the structured more keep it into more structured way. So what happened? They introduced this TMDL view and TMDL format. So before coming to TMDL view, which is the key topic for our today's session, first let's understand what this TMDL format is. So now, in order to enable this view and format, so if you are using older version of Power BI, then you might only be able to see 3 or 4 views. And at the bottom, the fifth view is known as TMDL view, which we are which we are going to look into. So firstly, if you are not able to see it from here, I will recommend you to update your Power BI desktop app to the latest version which is available. So for that, you can just go to this help section and click on this about button and check that you should have the latest version. Or else if you are using the older version, then just go to the files and file option, or just go to the settings option. And from here, you have to go to preview feature. So if you are into older version, then you will find here option to enable TMDL view. So one thing that you have to do, enable the TMDL view from here. But if you update to the latest format, it will be enabled by default. And the second thing is you will find out this Power BI project save option. So within this, you have to check this box for TMDL format. So you have to check this box, click on OK. And then you have to restart your Power BI desktop app once. So let me just quickly close this report and open it again. Now, if you are working with a press report, then you can directly save your report. Just go to save as, and this will be your format which you will get directly. But if you have already any pre-existing report, let's say you already been working with PBIP report. So now if I open this, this will open your report. And now if we try to save this report, once this open, so then this report will get converted to TMDL format because we enabled it into preview feature. So earlier, if I just give you an overview, this PBIP format which we were looking at, it is known as it is known as TMSL format. So once we enable that feature, and now let's just add some page and save this report. So you will see here, updating will convert the semantic model file format from TMSL, which is the older format for PBIP, to TMDL. Why? Because we enabled that option, and this cannot be undone. So save a backup of your file beforehand. So once you click on this upgrade button, now your model will get updated to TMDL format. Now, what are the benefits of it? Let's see first into the folder. So here, if I go to this TMDL view option, and if I go to inside this semantic model, so now earlier we only have one file, which is model.bim, which we saw, but in place of it, now we have this various folders. So we have definitions. You can simply go to this definition, and now everything is separated into separate TMDL format. Now for relationships, we have a separate TMDL script. For model, we have a separate TMDL script. For expressions, for database, for tables, we again have separate, for each table, we have separate TMDL scripts. So these are the, like we got a segregated view of our database. And also like there is a folder name as TMDL script. So when whichever script we will be creating ahead in our session, and we save that, so it will appear here. So you can use it for future purpose. Now we got the understanding that these are the things happening on backend. But what are the benefit of this? So first benefit is you can work into textual format, and the second benefit is you can collaborate with other developers. So right now, what happened? Let's say if I am working on this Power BI report, and earlier when Power BI was introduced, a single developer can work on any Power BI report. There are some changes which can be requested. He or she can make it. But like as we grow into large scale project, large client project, so multiple developer work on a single report. Now what happened, let's say any client requirement come, and it is a major requirement which we have to do. So at a single time I have to work on, let's say, a few table or few pages, and other developer has to work on separate part of the report. Now what happened, earlier there was no way to merge those changes. So let's say if I create few measures in my report, I create some relationship. So if the other developer has to do it, he again has to do that manually, or he or she has to wait till I complete my part, and then in this same file, the other developer can start working on it. But with the introduction of this TMDL view, and with the introduction of the PBIP format, now what we can do is we can collaborate with other developers. So we have the Git integration present, we have version control present. So all these features are part of it. But we will not go into much detail about that. We will focus only mainly on this TMDL view. So we got the background, or we can say overview of what exactly structure is, or TMDL format is. But now let's look how does it look like. So firstly, we will come to this view. So earlier, you might have worked with Power BI for long, or if you are a beginner, you might have came across the interview questions, which are like how many views are present into Power BI desktop app. So the most common answer is three views. We have three views. First is the report view, second is table view, third is model view. Most of the people know about this. But if you want to stand out into the crowd, if you want to so that you are updated with the latest feature, you can answer, the correct answer will be 5, because dex query view is there, which is again a complete separate part, and then TMDL view, which we are talking about today. So this is the fifth view which is there into Power BI, and this is the interface of the TMDL view, and this is how it looks like. So at the top left, you will see there are some cut copy option. Then we have a editing pane available at the top. So we can format, we have an option for find and replace. So we'll see ahead in the use cases how we can use it. Then we have command palette. So this will guide you like how you can, you will find out the shortcuts from here, or you can copy line up, copy line down. You can perform the operations from here also. So there are so many commands available. But generally, we will either use shortcuts or we will directly drag and drop that kind of thing we will do. And at the right side, you will find out we have our data pane similar to the data view or the model view which we have available. And here we have complete semantic model available. So there are two views available. One is table. So in table, if I can say table view, you will just get a list of your tables, and within those tables, what are the columns or measures have been present. But if you go to this model, then you will find out all the details related to calculation group, cultures, expressions. You will find out all the measures within this folder. Then perspective, relationships separately you will be able to see, and then finally the tables which we were looking here. So now you will get a welcome message here. This is the empty screen where we will be playing with the TMDL script. So welcome to TMDL view. You can read this blog, and to start editing, we have to drag in any semantic model object from the data pane. So object, I can say measures you can understand as a object, relationships or tables, but we will start with complete semantic model. So how, in order to generate the TMDL script, it is not something like you have to write the code or something. You just have to, your semantic model will be already ready. You have to click on it and drag and drop into this empty space. So you can see as soon as I drag and drop here, this green line has been appeared. So I will just drop it here, and you will see this, my complete semantic model is now available into a structured TMDL format. So this like syntax you can say, or this complete script is known as TMDL script. So this will give me the complete detail about my model, then what kind of culture it is using, what are the default source version. Then for each table, I will get details, all the related like column, what is the data type of it, what is the lineage tag, how it is summarized, what is the source column. Then if I scroll down, you will find out the M code here also. So this M code, earlier we had to go to Power Query editor, and there we have to like go to advanced within the Power Query editor, we have to go to advanced editor, and there you will be able to see this. But now within the TMDL script itself, you will be able to see your complete semantic model. Now if I again scroll down a bit, so you can see right now this is the table is time of reason. If I scroll down more, then based on the like right now, as you we know, we can drag and drop the complete semantic model, so it will show details about all the tables one by one. So this is the way how you can explore your semantic model. We will see ahead like what are the things we can do. But let's say you don't want to explore your complete semantic model. You just want to see all the measures which are there into your model or your Power BI report. So you can just drag and drop it here. Just click on the measure and drag and drop. So now, as you can see on the bottom, as we drag and drop, let's drag and drop the relationships after this. So a new script is getting created. So whenever you drag and drop something into this interface, a new script get created. So we have script 1, script 2, you can rename it. Let's rename this to semantic model. The second one, we imported the measures. And the third one is relationship. Now, if I go back to my folder, okay, first I need to save this file. Yeah, now if I go back to my folder back again, so you will find out this TMDL script folder is here. And if I open this, then all the scripts which I am creating here are now available here. So let's say you are working with any other developer, you created few measures. Let's say you created 5 new measures. So right now we have 37 measure, and you created 5 new measure. So you can drag and drop it here. So instead of for the other developer, he don't have to create again and again. He can just copy this TMDL script. You can see here this copy and share this. He can paste it into his folder and come back here. He just have to click on apply button once, and all the measure will reflect here. So we will see that demo part ahead also, but this is just a use case I want to show you. So these are the way how your TMDL scripts are getting stored into backend. Now coming to the use cases, let me show you what we are going to look ahead. So these are the few use cases which I have noted down. So firstly, we will see how you can add description to the tables, to columns, measures, then how you can bulk edit the data type, the summarization of columns, the format strings, then how you can create bulk measures at once, how you can move measures into measure table or the folders which we create inside a measure table. Then the most common scenario and the most challenging one, which most people struggle to do, how you can switch between the import and directory mode. And then there are a few other use cases. So we will cover it one by one. So starting with the first one is add description to table, column, and measure. Now come back here. Instead of dragging and dropping the complete semantic model, we will play with the table. So let's say I drag and drop this employee table. Right now, if I navigate over this employee table, you will see that there are some kind of details available on the tooltip. We have the name of the table, which is employees, then the storage mode and data refresh. But as a best practice, what we follow is for all the tables or for all the measures you are creating, we recommend to add some kind of description. So let's say right now I'm working with this report, so I might be familiar with it. But after me, someone will work on it. Let's say I hand over the project to someone else. So he might find difficult like to understand it. So if we add the description here, then it will be really helpful for them to get an overview beforehand. So what we will do, we drag and drop this employee table. Now, in order to add description, from here, if you right click, you don't find any option to add description. You have to go to Power Query editor, and from there you have to edit. But from here, how you can do it? Just enter 3 backslash and you can enter whatever description you want. So we will say this table contain employees information, and you can just click on the apply button. And now if I navigate to this employees table, so you can see now the description is present. So same thing you can do for column and same thing you can do for measures. So let me drag and drop any measure. And there is one more feature available within this TMDL view is you can preview like whatever changes you are making, you can preview. So right now we are making very small changes. So we already know, but when you are making bulk changes, like you are making changes into semantic model, so you need to validate first, like what are the changes I have made. So in this way, or else when I gave you an example that you can share your TMDL script and give it to another developer. So when he import it into his model, then he can see like what are the changes the other developer has made. So in this way, he can compare his model and the new model which we are going to apply. So once, let's say you are good with this change, you can just click on this apply button. And for this active vacancies, the description is now available. So this is the way how you can edit. Now let's say you don't want to do this again and again manually for all the measure. So what we can do is we just drag and drop this measure, copy this complete TMDL script, go to ChatGPT or any AI tool and say that add the description to all these measures based on the formula or the logic they are using. Same thing if you are looking right now in the market, there are MCP servers available, there are Claude like Power BI models are getting integrated with Claude. So same thing is happening. In this way, they are getting the data from the backend, from the TMDL scripts, analyzing it like and getting the understanding of the logic, and then they are adding the description. So on the front end side, we just saw that okay, by just entering a prompt, everything has changed. But this is the like the backend part, the complete structure we have. So this is the way how you can add description to your tables or to your measures. For the columns, I will recommend you to try on your hands on the hands-on part. So this is our first use case. Now second is bulk edit data type, summarization and format string. Now let's say if I have my table here, let's open any random table. And I have this few columns available into my table. Let's open the date table. So right now, let's say if you see this, these are in whole numbers, all these. So the model looks good, but just assume that the data type of all these columns are text and you have to use it as a whole number. So what you have to do, either you have to go to Power Query editor and from there you have to change the data type for all of them, or from here you have to click on one column, then change the data type from here. Let's say we change it to text. So in this way, one by one, you have to go and change. Now, in place of one by one, let's assume that you have to bulk apply the changes. Right now, we only made changes to 3. So it already took almost 15 to 20 seconds. But let's say if you have 10 columns, 15 columns, of which data type you have to change. So what you can do to save your time is, let's drag and drop the date table. And from here, you will find out we have this column details available. So for each column, we have data type, we have format string, we have summarized by section. So we know here date column is already specified as date time, and this year column is string, quarter of year is also string, and month year is also string. But we want this into integer format back again, like earlier it was in whole number format. So what we will do, in place of going to one column each, then click on like changing it from the browser, we can just copy it from here, change it, just copy and paste. It hardly took 2 to 3 seconds, and click on apply. And then if you go back to your model and check the data types of these columns, so it has been updated to whole number. So this is a really quick way of playing with your data. Like if you want to change the data type, so this you can do for one table, this you can do for multiple tables. Let's say for all the date columns you want to replace in your semantic model, whatever you have imported the data, you got all the date column as date time. So you will import your semantic model complete here, and just click on this find button. So how this find button will work, just as we have in our PDFs or as we have in Excel, you can enter and it will reflect you all the date columns available. So now just if you have already copied this, copy this or keep it copied, and now just go to all the columns and replace the data type. And in this way you can save your time. Just click on apply, or before it preview the changes, and or else you can use the replace feature also. So this is the one way we can see one use case. Next is same thing which we saw for data type, same you can do for summarization and format string. So in the same section where we are looking at, so let me just close this. Same section here, below the data type, you will see we have the format string available. So for the date column, it is long date. For if I come here to integer, then you will see the summarize, the format string is not applied here. So by default, it will be like into whole number. But if you want to change it to decimal, so what you can do, just copy this line, add a new line here and change it to 0.00. So right now, if I go to this particular year column, you will see my year is in whole number. But if I go back to my TMDL script and we made this change and click on apply, so this year column will be converted into decimal format. So again, if there is any requirement where you have to change the format of multiple columns at once, so in this way you can do it. This is particularly helpful in measures. So whenever we create measures, we follow a best practices of keeping same number of decimal in all the measures. So because we will add it into KPI or some card visual or table visual, so there it might be possible in few KPIs it will be 2 decimal place, in few KPIs it will be 4. So you can just drag and drop all your measures here into your TMDL script, and in this format string section just replace everything to the similar format whichever you want. So this is a way how you can do it. Next is our summarize by setting. So right now by default it is set to none, but let's say if you want to set it to some, so you can set it this way. If you want to set it to count, so you can just play with it whatever based on your requirement. So this is another use case which we just completed. Next is create bulk measure at once. Now why this is helpful, let's say if you are working with any sales report and you have any requirement. Just for an example, let's say you have 5 kind of products available in your report, and you got a requirement that you have to calculate or you have to create a measure which calculate the sale for a particular product, and you now have to create 5 measures. So what you have to do, you have to go here, click on a new measure option. So in our here if I go, you have to click here new measure, then you have to write the formula, and you can see this working on it. This depends, this time how much it take depend on your semantic model. So let just assume you have to do it 5 times to create 5 measures. But what are the benefit of TMDL view is, you can just go here, drag and drop any simple measure, just let's say any random one, and here After this, I will write, I will say the measure name is demo1. And you can put the formula. Let's say the formula is calculate total sales and where product is equals to product A, then product B, product C. But for now, just for the demo purpose, let's name this one. And you have to create 5 measures. So this we will name 2, this 3, and this 4. And you have to make sure that the name of measure should be different. Otherwise, it will throw you error. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, assume it as one is calculate total sales for product A. So we will put the condition filter where product is product A. Then in 2, product is product B. In 3, product is product 3. So you just have to keep it here, and just once you have to click on this apply button. And you will see the number of measures has been increased and we have 5 measures ready. So in place of going here, click in again, new measure or new measures you have to click, and then creating one by one. This is very helpful when you have to create same kind of logic or same kind of measure in your data model. Now, next thing is you can move your measures into measure table or folder. So this is again one of our best practices which we follow. So right now you see if I already have a measure table and within that I already have a folder available. But let's say you don't have this measure table present. So either you can create manually or with the help of DEX, you can create a measure table and then just drag and drop all the measures. So let's create a first empty table. So we will name it demo table and we'll click on load. So you will see this demo table has been created and it is currently empty. We don't have any measure. Now your requirement is from the different tables. Just assume we have all the measure present and you have to move it all into this demo table. So what we can do is you can just go to this TMDL view, drag and drop all the table, all the measures here and just change this measure table name. There sometime if we enter something wrong, so this will show you the error. So, okay, so the thing happening here is we already have this measures created into this, and the command if you see here is we are creating or replace. So as we already have this linear tag available within all these measures, so right now this will throw you an error if we directly try to move it because same tag with the same tag duplication will be there. So for now this operation will not work, but we will see how you can change the display folder for now. So for that, we will see within this measure table only because creating the new measure will be a challenge. We have to change the lineage tag or we have to perform some kind of modification into our TMDL script. But we will see how we can move these measures within a subfolder. So we already have our measure table ready and we have this demo 1, demo 2, 3, 4, 5 measures which we just created. Now, just as we have this employee KPI folder available, someone will come up and say that put all these demo measures into a demo subfolder within this measure table. So what we can do is we can come here. We can select these 5 and drag and drop it here. And then you can enter a command which is display folder and we will name it demo. So let's just try first. So this you can see now if I go back to my model, this change has been applied to the model. And if you come here, a new folder has been created. So this demo folder has been created and our demo 1 has been moved here. Now just copy this and paste it into all the measure. So see, within 5 to 10 seconds, we can move it from here. we just have to paste it and click on the apply button. And now I will be able to see all my demo measures inside this demo folder. But if I have to do it manually, then I have to come here, then come to this measure section. From here, the home table is measure table. And from here, you have to add this demo table one by one. From here, you have to click on measures again and again, and then change the display folder for that. So this is like really helpful when you have to perform these kind of operations. This may sound very basic, but yeah, this is really time saving and very effective. So we saw about moving the measures into measure table and folders. Next is how you can switch between import mode and directory mode. So earlier when we were creating some composite model or when you are working with report, it was easy when we have directory mode. You can pull back the data into import mode. But it is really difficult to go from import mode to the directory mode. So one way is like if you can go to this semantic model view, and from here you will find out if you go to this advanced section. So if I go to this advanced section, you have to select table first. So you will see if the table is in import mode, this option is already grayed out. We cannot switch it to directory mode. If the, let's assume this table was in directory mode, then we will be able to change it to import mode. So the reverse was not possible. But let's assume that you get any such scenario where you already have a complete end-to-end report built in for client, and they say that change the model from import mode to directory mode for performance. Let's say they want to show the real time data. So how you do it? So now with the help of TMDL view, it is possible. Let me show you quickly how you can do it. We will first select any particular table. Let's say date table we select. So if you scroll down in this for TMDL script, so we will find out we have the details for all the columns, and at the bottom, at the last, we will have the information about the M code. So this particular section will tell you about the M code, and within this particular section, you will find out this mode has been written. So the currently the mode is import mode. So what you have to do now, this became very simple. You just have to change the mode from here. So you can change it to direct lake, which is part of Microsoft Fabric. If you have already gone through it, then we have the direct lake mode, and we have the direct query mode. So you can click on direct query and just click on the apply button. So right now you can see we are looking at this company team table, and you can see like this is the complete format. You have to be a bit careful about the syntax or all this, but when you work with the TMDL script, you already get familiar. Like there is not any particular documentation available where we can see the complete syntax, but when you drag and drop, it is like very structured already. So you just whatever you are replacing, you have to keep in mind you replace or add text at that particular section only. So now we go back to this company team table, and you can see the storage mode has been changed to direct query, and now you can change back to import or dual. But if we change to import from here, it will not be possible to change it to direct query again. You have to go to TMDL view, and then you have to click on this, change it from here, and then click on apply. So this is one of the use case which I frequently saw, like when I published about the TMDL view use cases. This is one of the use cases which got the most response, and people was facing many challenges in switching between the modes. So this has been really helpful for them. Now the next thing is how you can create a calendar table using TMDL view. So again, if you have worked with Power BI or if you have read about Power BI, I'm assuming you already have some basic kind of knowledge related to Power BI. So it is a best practices to have a separate calendar table, or we can say a date table in your Power BI report. Because with the help of it, you can create relationships between all the tables. Your model will be well structured. When you are going to create visuals, you can use the columns directly from date table. Hierarchies will be there. All these things. So for now, I already have this date table available. But let's say I don't have it here, and I have to create some date table from scratch. So either I have to go to Power Query Editor, write a M code to create a date table, or you have to create a dex. Firstly, you have to create with the help of dex, you can create a date column, and then from that you can extract month, year, week, all these things. But with the help of this TMDL view, what happen is you can generate a TMDL script once. So as you can see here in this blog, I have already put it. So I put the TMDL script into this GitHub location. So this you can keep it locally somewhere. So in all your reports, you can use it, or you can just copy it from here. I will go back here. I will just click on the new script and I will paste it. Now you can see this complete script contain all the commonly used columns which can be useful. Then dates. So if I scroll down, so here you can see I have added the date range. So based on your requirement, let's say you want from 1 January 2025 to 31 December 2026. So here you can change it. You can also update your fiscal year start month. So right now I'm starting from 4. Let's say you want to starting from January. So you can change it and you just have to click on apply button. So right now the name of table will be calendar. I don't have any calendar table here. So just by copy and paste and clicking on this apply button, you will see a calendar table is present here. Now error you will see here. Why? Because the data is not there. So what you have to do, you just have to refresh once. So we'll find this refresh now option. And if now I go back here, so I have this complete calendar table present here. So you will find out it has already has DAX inside it. So it automatically created that complete table for me. So this is a very helpful scenario. Like whenever you are building any new report, you can just copy this kind of syntax and paste it. Next is how you can create calculation group in one click. So again, I am not going into syntax of what all thing I've done here. I will just show you how you can do it. So for calculation group also, like I've already defined year to date measure, quarter to date, month to date. So I don't have to go to calculation group section and create one by one all the calculation group. I can just copy this script. If you want to add some more, like some more kind of time intelligence, same period last year, you kind some these kind of functions you want to include, you can include into that script. Go back to TMDL view, click here and just click on apply. Now we got an error. So let's see what is it. So the model property discourage implicit measure must be set to true. So if you have read about calculation group, you might have know that this is a key situation. Like we can say preliminary condition which we have to keep in mind, that we have to disable this implicit measure option into our model. So firstly, before applying this TMDL script, you have to come to this model view and you have to click on your semantic model. And from here, you have to discourage these implicit measures. So we will discourage it here and go back to the TMDL view and click on the apply button. Now you will see as soon as we fulfill this condition, this change has been applied and my calculation groups are now ready. So if you see here, these calculation group year to date, quarter to date, month to date, all these are present. So these also include many formulas inside them. First, just do a manual refresh. And here you can see all these calculation items has been created. So I don't have to write measure for each one of them. By default, it has taken it from the TMDL script. So these are the again two common use cases. Now let me show you the next one. These two we covered. Next is collaborating with other developer using TMDL view. So this we already discussed. You can just copy the TMDL script or the file from the folder and you can share it with the other developer and he can use it into his report. So this is already also covered. Next is production deployment and report validation using TMDL. So this is another use case which I really found helpful while working on the client project. So I was like the report, I cannot share it due to confidential issue. But yeah, just for to give you an overview, what was happening is we were working on many reports and we had around 25 to 26 report which was there into lower environment. So the testing has the development has been done on the dev databases, then testing has been done on test database, and UAT like user acceptance testing has been performed on UAT, or we can say QA database. Now when the reports came to me, I had very limited time available to make the changes. I had to point the complete report to the uh, production database. So what I had to do, the challenge was I had to go to transform data. I had to go to all the queries and modify the queries which are written there. I had to do it and carefully do it, because while deploying for production, we cannot take the risk of using the lower environment databases. So what I did is I just use this TMDL view option. I just drag and drop the complete semantic model, and I just search from here. The database using in the lower environment was uh, db underscore uat. So I just searched for that. All the wherever it was present, it came on highlighted, and I used this replace option. And from here, I just replaced it to db underscore prod, and just click on enter, 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 and your complete semantic model will be updated to the production version. And as we know, this is complete, like this shows complete backend, so there is no chance that I will miss something. So in this kind of real world use cases, these kind of features are really helpful when you are working with the large requirement or the large project. So this is really helpful in such scenarios. Next is the TMDL view and AI documentation. Now all we have all these things ready. Now again, I will share one more real experience. So what was happening is I completed all the reports. The deployment was completed. Then they told me to provide the documentation for the report. And as I said, we had 25 to 26 report. So manually doing the documentation was very hectic part. And basically, when I say the documentation, they wanted all the details, like what are the parameters have been used, what are the relationships, like from which table to which table has been created, what are the measures created, what are the logics in those measures. So doing it manually was very challenging. So what I did is I again used TMDL view. Let's just for an example, I had to document the relationship part. So I drag and drop the relationship. I copied it from here. I went to ChatGPT and I pasted. Just enter a normal prompt that I have below TMDL script available for all the relationships in my Power BI report. Then you can enter. I have to do documentation and want a table explaining the relationship from table, then to which table it is created, and then like direction of relationship. So let's say these are few things I want. Below is the TMDL script. So I will just paste it here, and you will see within few seconds my table is ready. So earlier I had to create a table manually, then I had to check each relationship one by one. Like I had to go to first relationship, from which table it has been created, I have to paste it here, then from which column it is created. All these things now I have ready here. I can just copy it, paste it into my Excel file or in whatever document I am doing it. So this is like really helpful. Same thing you can do. Let's say you have to document your measures. So I will again copy paste. Just enter a similar prompt. Again, I will put on enter, and you can see the complete measure names, all the measures are present here. The logic summary is here, like what kind of logic it has been used. Business explanation also it has been added, and some special note like it uses the use relationship function, or applied date used, applied date filter has been used in this. And this is also like segregated based on the folders which we have. So if you see here, if I go to my measure table, we have a demo folder, we have employee KPI, we have requirement KPI. So it has segregated the table based on it. Even I didn't say it, but in the script, we already defined the folders. So it taken it from here and gave me the detail about all the measures I have present. So this demo measures return 1, return 2, because we just entered demo 1 equals to 1, demo 2 equals to 2. So you can see we have this kind of details available within minutes, which earlier used to take days in order to do this documentation part. And this, I believe most of the developers who are working with the client projects, they might have faced this challenge. So this TMDL view is really helpful in such scenario. So yeah, these are few use cases which I wanted to cover. And if you want to give a read in detail, you can check out the official blogs from the Microsoft Learn documentation. You will find out the details here. And if you want to explore the use cases, then you can go to Microsoft Fabric community. I have also contributed, and many other super users, MVPs have also shared their use cases. So you can give it a look, try it out. There, at initial level, you will find out many, like some index, syntax challenge will be there. Some kind of problems will be there. Sometimes this lineage tag will cause some error. So these things, when you work with, you will find out what are the challenges. Either you can try to resolve it by your own, or you can put on the community so that people can help you out. So this is all from my side. Now I will request, if anyone has any doubt, feel free to ask.
Yes, thanks, Anmol. We already covered a lot of question on the chat, but we also requested to the all of the people. If you have any question, you can ask on the chat. We will cover.
Yeah.
So we just wait. So a lot of persons, one question is continuously happening. Can we manage the entire TDML on the dev test and production environment?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Yeah, so one of the question is continuously asked. So
Hmm.
can we maintain three files, development, test and productions using the TDML?
Yeah, so we can do it like when you further look into this, if you go to the workspace part, there we have the deployment pipelines available. So in that, with the help of deployment pipelines and with the help of Git integration, you can play with, like you already have your report into PBIP format. So you can put it into dev workspace, then you can move with the help of Git integration or with the help of deployment pipeline, you can move it to test format. And there you can switch the parameters. So it will reflect in your report.
Okay, cool. And again, one question is come. What are the performance implication of TDML edits? Means suppose we can changes the some script on the using the TMDLs. So any performance issues happened on the existing semantic model?
No, so I believe like I have worked with TMDL scripts over past few months, but there is no any performance impact impacting the report, or I can say semantic model. Just think of it like earlier it was not visible to you, but with the help of PBIP format, now you are able to see all these things. But earlier also these are getting stored somewhere, but we don't have access to it. So this is the only difference. It will not impact the performance.
Okay, and one question is not from audience, is from my side. So, if we are done the some scripting changes on the semantic model level, so is
Mhm.
that possible on the Power Query level using the TMDL?
So Power Query level, like I will say, you can make the changes definitely. So let me just share my screen back again. So if you go to Power Query Editor, then it will not possible. But let's say you want to change any M code. So I have this, let's say, any particular company job role table. So I can come here, I can make the changes here into the M code which is available here. And let's say you want to change the type of it in this M code directly. So you can change it from here. Or let's say you want to add any other step. You want to add remove column step. So you have to write the M code manually here, and then just click on apply, and a refresh button will appear, and in this way you can do it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, and we also share the materials of the learning from the Microsoft using the
Mhm.
TMDLs, how we can learn all of the things. And thank you to everyone for being the part of today's webinar and spending your valuable time with us. Heartful thanks to the Anmol for delivering the such details and insightful session on TDML in proper VI. We hope you find the discussion practical and useful for your real world project. If you have still question, guys, you can ask on to the our WhatsApp group. We already post the our link on the WhatsApp group, and we're happy to address them now. Before you give the feedback, truly we helps to improve our session in the future. And looking forward to seeing all the upcoming webinars. Thanks and more again.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you everyone.
Thank you all, everyone.
Thank you, Anmol.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you, Shahid.